Men are dogs, but women aren't cats. They're fleas. And the sad fact is, most dogs have been brainwashed by our flea-manist society to believe that real dogs protect and provide for their fleas, and that dogs who get rid of their fleas and live flea-free are toxic, misogynist narcissists. I'm Paradox, and I've been living without gynocentric parasites for 23 years. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of your gynocentric parasites, including the really hard to shift invisible ones that live in your value system. But we're going to start off by identifying the gynocentric parasites that have infected the manosphere.
Manosphere content is making men hopeless.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Just a month ago, I would have identified myself as a manosphere creator, believing it genuinely wanted to help men, calling out modern feminism, promoting masculinity, and empathizing with the struggles men face. Men are definitely facing serious issues that I and other creators are well aware of. But the manosphere and its key figures have lost their way.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Instead of addressing these issues with hopeful solutions, it's become a non-stop dunk contest on women.
That is bullshit.
Where the absolute worst examples of what it means to be a woman are deceptively promoted as though they represent the average woman in modern society.
Nobody knows why liars lie.
Which leads me to the most important point. You have to keep in mind that top creators are feeding an algorithm where negativity sells and their cause takes a backseat to their need to satisfy an audience. I have experienced this firsthand.
Really?
I've posted reactionary content because I knew it would pull people in. But I stopped.
You're a whore. You'll always be a whore.
Because this only drags viewers deeper into hopelessness.
A, that is bullshit. And B, she is a complete bitch.
They stop thinking about the things they can improve and instead focus on the enemies highlighted by creators. This doesn't help men. It only leaves them angrier and more isolated.
I'm sorry. All I heard was blah, blah, blah. I'm a dirty tramp.
I actually worry about this a lot.
What?
I think that I'm helping. I'm proud of my work, but I can see the dangers that she's talking about.
Your thoughts?
What? And I don't want my content to be doing more harm than good. So I'm doing two things. First, I'm releasing an hour-long video describing all the things I love about my relationship.
Beta!
Some balance, some positivity. I've been with Emily 16 years. I'm going to talk about what makes the relationship healthy, how she makes me happy.
It's a sign of being a beta male.
The second thing I'm going to do is plug what she just said into Debate Master on ChatGPT and let it argue the case that I'm causing harm.
You're a simp!
I want to challenge myself and my conscience, so here we go.
Now, I'm being a bit harsh on Alexander Grace here because I couldn't resist the joke. But to be clear, he's not really a simp in the traditional sense, but he is a simp in the MGTOW for life sense because we set a far higher standard for men than most of the manosphere. What I mean is that like a lot of red pill guys, Alexander Grace is only half red pilled. He's taken the half of the red pill which reveals the truth about female nature and how it's turned up to 11 in modern women.
Well done.
But he hasn't taken the half of the red pill that reveals that Western society is a gynocracy. That is, it not only supports but promotes and enables the worst aspects of female nature and uses men's attention, labor, and resources to support, fund, and bail out the narcissistic and entitled mental and emotional infants that women inevitably become when they grow up in a gynocentric society that coddles their fragile, ever-shifting feelings and thus totally infantilizes them. What this means is it's not just women who are parasitic in relation to men, in terms of parasiting off our attention, our validation, and using us to soak up the chaos and drama of their emotions as if we were emotional tampons, and of course, parasiting off our financial resources.
Agreed.
But our entire gynocentric society parasites off of men in order to support what it views as the superior gender, women. It parasites off our attention in the attention economy. It parasites off our work and our labor and our finances by taxing us to fund women who've decided to make a living by becoming baby mamas and shitting out children who are going to have a terrible life because they don't have a father, by taxing us to fund women to kill children in the womb through abortion, by taxing us to fund women to divorce their husbands by giving them half of his shit and giving her child support and alimony, by taxing us to fund untold DEI-based programs to give women special treatment to get into college, special treatment to get jobs, special treatment to get promotions, scholarships, etc. And it parasites off our very lives by sending us to war for ruling elites and using our bodies as cannon fodder.
I agree with that.
Toward the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how 23 years ago, I became very clear about all of this and went on a healing journey to remove all of my gynocentric parasites, including women from my life because I went MGTOW, but also the gynocentric parasites that were conditioned and programmed into me from childhood by our gynocentric society.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I know this because if he had taken the second half of the red pill, he wouldn't be taking this fucking grifter.
Damn!
Seriously. Let me lay my cards on the table here. Every female creator that has infiltrated the manosphere on YouTube, except the female content creators you see on your screen now, is a fucking grifter.
Damn!
Now, in order to back up that claim, I need to define what I mean by grifter in the context of YouTube.
Okay.
A YouTube grifter is someone who pretends to care about and seek to help a particular audience, in this case, men who are struggling with dating and relationships, but whose real goal is purely to make money. As long as a grifter is making money, they don't give a shit if they actually help their audience.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I'm not going to name names because I don't want to give them any more publicity, but every female manosphere creator, except the ones I've just listed, is a fucking grifter. Mark my words.
Okay.
And the reason I say fucking grifter rather than just grifter is because their entire grift relies on using men's pain and suffering to sell men either the snake oil of
an insider revealing the wicked ways of women,
or the snake oil of
I'm a good traditional woman who hates feminism just as much as you.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Anyone who preys on people's pain and suffering to sell them a potion that they know will not help them just to make money is a fucking grifter, in my book.
I agree with that.
But
The simps amongst you will protest.
they do help men. My favorite female manosphere creator really helped me. She helped me to understand women better.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
I would retort, because I like using the word retort, helping men to understand women is a pretty fucking low bar. Any grown man who's not a simp can help you understand women better. Any woman who is capable of the occasional moments of honesty can help you understand women better.
Okay, so this is something that I honestly been pondering on actually for a few years now.
Okay.
I remember what the Bible said about women and you know, like the evil spirit, what the Bible says about the Jezebel spirit and
Are you
things I see that women do, things I know and heard that women do, the paternity issue.
Actually, don't tell me. Okay, just tell me real quick.
How these women lay next to a man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation. How good men get stoned out. How kids are just used for a check.
Correct. Thank you.
I've come to the conclusion that I think women are just pure evil.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
That's not funny, Proctor.
No, sir.
Like, I really think women are just pure evil. Women are naturally evil beings, I believe.
Well, first, let me say, I think you make some really interesting points.
And only a woman who's honest about our natural nature of being deceptive can change it.
That's what I'm talking about.
I must go to America to protect her.
Like, for example, I know that naturally there's a selfish, gimme, I want that type of way about me.
Yes. Yup. Yes.
About people, period, but especially women.
Yes.
So if you can't be honest and say that that's in there, then you can't deal with it and address it.
Well done.
And so I've noticed that the women who say they're the dopest, they're the this, they're the that, are usually the worst.
Of course.
Because you have to acknowledge the beast in you in order to tame it. I really just think most women are natural evil.
Agreed.
Period. I just think they're evil.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
And not even just how they deal with men and kids makes them evil, but how they deal with each other. Women are so jealous, deceptive, conniving. Like, you can just feel the evil when you are in the presence of certain women. You can walk in a room and you just feel the daggers. You just feel that demonic spirit. Women are evil. I don't care what nobody say. Women are untrustworthy, deceitful, demonic beings. I said what I said.
A trained fucking monkey can help you understand women better.
Damn.
Women aren't hard to understand when you're not thinking with your dick.
Agree with that. I agree with that.
From the admittedly high standard of MGTOW for life, there is only one way to help men who are struggling with dating and relationships, and that is to help them connect with their internal power so that they become indifferent to women.
Okay, I'm recusing myself from this situation. Thank you very much.
This helps in two ways. Firstly, in a world infested by a plague of simps who are constantly validating women for their looks and for their boss bitch attitude,
It's a sign of being a beta male.
the biggest aphrodisiac for a modern woman is a man who is totally indifferent to her looks and her boss babe attitude, which is in reality a spoilt brat attitude. This is the bad boy's secret. Bad boys are the only non-Chads and non-Tyrones that get laid as often as Chads and Tyrones. And it's because they have mastered indifference towards a woman's sexual charms. In fact, they usually take indifference up a notch to contempt, which drives the most wounded, most suffering from daddy issues women wild.
He's a bad man.
The second way becoming indifferent to women helps is it allows men to forget about women and focus purely on themselves.
Meaning?
To focus on healing the wounds they received from their mothers, older sisters, and exes.
Okay.
To focus on the purpose of every man's life, that is, self-actualization, becoming the very best version of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Okay.
And to focus on finding your unique, higher purpose in life, the thing that you and you alone were born to do, the thing that when you discover it, you literally can't not do.
This pleases me.
My point is, if your favorite manosphere YouTuber, man or woman, is not empowering you to become indifferent to women, then they are not helping you.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
What all these female fucking YouTube grifters are doing is using the fact that men are a sucker for a pretty face.
Facts.
And so they know they will get views from men just because they're women. They are also using the fact that most men think with their dicks.
Agree with that. I agree with that.
And will thus assume that everything a female YouTuber tells them about how to get females will work if they can just pull it off. No pun intended. So they gain a totally unearned authority right off the bat.
Well, first, let me say, I think you make some really interesting points.
And they're using the fact that modern women have become such insufferable cunts.
Damn!
That men have become so desperate they believe in unicorns.
What the fuck? are you talking about?
Just like slaves in the Deep South were desperate to believe in the loving God of Christianity because they experienced so little love from the world around them, today's man is so starved of genuine, caring, nurturing femininity, they will latch onto anything with tits as if breastfeeding from their own mama's teats.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
So because Alexander Grace was too half red-pilled blind to see through this fucking grifter, I'm going to have to do it for him.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Round one, fight!
I actually remember when she first appeared on the scene, maybe about a year ago, something like that, roasting modern women's behaviour like a poor man's pearl. The queen of the female manosphere grifters. And she even admits to her grift in this video. So for her to have the bald-faced audacity...
I can see what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
To turn around and virtue signal that she stopped playing on negativity and pain, but the rest of the manosphere hasn't caught up with her moral ascension to heaven by using a blatantly obvious straw man conflation is two-faced hypocrisy of cosmic proportions. Because large chunks of the manosphere had moved beyond a non-stop dunk contest on women type of content before she got her first period.
Damn!
Key manosphere creators like Paul Elam, Manosphere Highlights Daily, Redonkulous Regiment's Terrence Popp, Stardusk, Sandman, Kevin Samuels, MTR, and FBE Capital have been addressing men's issues with hopeful solutions since before she got her cherry popped.
Damn!
Which in her case was probably the day after she got her first period.
Damn!
And secondly, this fucking grifter is a
lying ass bitch.
Because she's using the strawman conflation of the most well-known manosphere creators, clowns like Fresh and Fit, the Whatever Podcast, and the aforementioned Pearl Davis.
He's out of line, but he's right.
With key manosphere creators. This is exactly the same trick that the gynocentric mainstream media pulls when it attacks the manosphere. It points to the low-rent, low-IQ tabloid version of the manosphere that gets the most views because it appeals to the lowest common denominator in men, that is, the desire for men who can't get hot girls to watch hot girls get dumped on and humiliated.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
The feminist mainstream media uses the same fallacious strawman conflation of the most popular tabloid channels with the entire manosphere that she just used, and the half red-pilled Alexander Grace couldn't even see it.
Finish her!
So all I have to say to her is,
shut the fuck up, you fucking idiot.
Fatality. Finish him!
And all I have to say to Alexander Grace is,
you don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Flawless victory.
Now, before I tell you how to get rid of all your gynocentric parasites and live a life of purpose and meaning and power, I just have to address one more thing.
Okay.
This whole thing of blaming the manosphere for what is happening to men. It's just another example of women being allergic to accountability writ in large scale. She demonstrated it when she talked about manosphere creators publishing negative content because it gets views for the algorithm. Did you notice that she said,
I have experienced this firsthand.
not I did this, not that I am as guilty as the people I'm talking about, which is how a man would say it, but a woman would say that, oh yeah, there's this terrible thing that people do, but when she comes to say that she did it, she used the word I experienced it, like it was done to her, as if she were the victim of her own negative behavior.
Bitch, please.
Completely avoided accountability. So that alone is a reason to ignore every word she says. I mean, let's face it. She's a woman talking about men's issues. That's the only reason you need to ignore everything she said. But just in case you didn't already understand that, you've got another reason. She didn't even take accountability for the fact that she started her grift by doing the same thing she is criticizing the manosphere for doing.
You raggedy bitch.
fucking hypocrite.
Agree with that. I agree with that.
And secondly, the whole idea of blaming the manosphere for what's happening to men and how men are getting hopeless or angry or not approaching women or dropping out of the workplace and blah, 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 blah. It's more avoidance of accountability. What is happening to men is as a result of 60 years of women pissing on men and telling us it's raining, and society shitting on men and telling us it's snowing.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
For 60 years, men have been told that we are the oppressors while society and women oppress us.
Ah, you motherfucker.
And that is why men are angry, going their own way, dropping out of society, becoming hopeless. It's because of what society and women have been doing.
You're goddamn right.
They only blame the manosphere because they can't take accountability. Women can't say, we did it, we fucked up, we believed in the nonsense of feminism, and we caused all this. And obviously the ruling elites aren't going to admit it, because this is all part of the plan of destroying Western civilization so they can replace it with the Great Reset. This is all part of the plan. This is all planned. So they're never going to take accountability for it, the ruling elites, and women are never going to take accountability for it because women can't take accountability, period.
I will be your champion.
So that's why never listen to a woman about anything, really.
Never trust a woman or a government.
But certainly not men's issues, because they are full of shit. They can't take accountability, so you can't trust a word they say.
Blood of my blood.
Everything that comes out of a woman's mouth negative about men is projection. My law is everything negative women say about men is actually true of women. When women say misogyny, misogyny, it's because they are misandrists. They hate men, so they make out that men hate women. Honestly, this is a golden rule. Everything a woman says negative about a man is actually true of her. Guaranteed 100%.
Really?
Why?
And now for some rapid fire facts.
Because women are always projecting. Why? Because women can't take accountability. What do I mean?
Nope. Stop talking, go to jail.
When you can't take accountability, which means when you can't own your shit, when you can't take responsibility for, claim and own your negative thinking, bad behavior, poor choices, broken promises, hypocritical statements, mistakes, wounds, pain, trauma, etc. When you can't own it and say, this is mine, nobody else is responsible for it, it's under my skin, so I am responsible for it. When you can't do that, which women can't do.
Agree with that. I agree with that.
You must project it. It is the first coping mechanism of human beings. You know, when a baby's born and it cries, wah, wah, that's projection. The baby has been in heaven for 9 months in the womb. It didn't even have to breathe. It's been fed. It's been looked after. Everything was done for the baby. Heaven. The womb is heaven. Birth is trauma. It's like being expelled from heaven into hell. And so the baby has come into the world. It's drowning. It has to learn to breathe and use its lungs. And it is terrified and in extreme pain after being squeezed out of a toothpaste tube. Yeah? And so that's why babies cry. They're terrified and in pain. And obviously a baby is completely helpless. So it can't own its pain. It can't own its fear and terror. So it does the first coping mechanism. Project it out. Vomit this pain and fear out of me. Get it out of me. That's what a baby's cry is. That's what judgment is. That's what condemnation is. That's what women nagging, judging, criticizing and blaming men all the time is. It's projection. Yeah. So every time a woman says something negative about a man, or women in general say negative things about men, they're always projecting because they never take accountability. And that's why women are always judging and complaining and criticizing men.
Gotcha, bitch.
Blood of my blood.
The mantra of my pathway is everything under my skin is mine. I am responsible for my negative emotions. I am responsible for my fearful thoughts. I am responsible for all of the thoughts and feelings and memories and sensations that I don't like that are within my being. Because if I blame something or someone outside of me for what's under my skin, I am a powerless victim. Responsible means response-able, able to respond. When you are responsible for what's under your skin, you can respond to what's under your skin. You can change your state of being. You can change your mindset. You can change your emotional wounds and you can heal. You can change. You can grow when you're responsible. When you're irresponsible, when you play the victim, when you blame, when you project, you are powerless. You have no power to respond to what's going on for you. And you remain a powerless victim for the rest of your life. And that is the main problem of women. Because they can't take accountability. I talk in other videos about exactly why that is. But because they can't take accountability, they can't learn or change or grow or heal. So they are stuck. That's why they never grow up. They never learn from their mistakes because they don't take accountability. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you don't grow. It's that simple. That's why they never grow up. Everything negative about women boils down to their inability to take accountability. So I personally, whenever I hear a woman speaking, my first attitude is bullshit. Bullshit. And this is for men as well. If I know somebody doesn't take accountability, I know that they don't learn and grow. I know that they're a powerless victim. And so they've got nothing of value to say to me. Nothing at all. And if you want to be a man of legend, you need to be harsh like I am with people, because most people are like this. Most people blame. Most people don't take responsibility for what's under their skin. Most people blame their parents, the government, their ex-wife, their ex-husband, this, that, the economy, blah, 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 Trump, the left wing, the woke. Blah. Most people are blamers, victims. You cannot be a person that grows and fulfills their potential and self-actualizes and lives a great life if you blame and play the victim, if you are irresponsible. So I hope that's really clear, because I'm about to give you the solution to getting rid of female gynocratic parasites. But no solution I give you will work if you're a victim. No solution will work if you project what's under your skin onto a scapegoat because you can't own it and claim it and take responsibility and accountability for it. Okay, rant over, moving on. Okay, so how did I get rid of all my gynocentric parasites, and how can you do the same? Well, first you have to understand what it looks like to have a gynocentric parasite. All red pill men know what it looks like to have a woman parasite off of you for attention, approval, sympathy, and validation. And we all know what it's like for a woman to parasite off of you by using you as an emotional tampon to soak up her emotional drama and chaos, or worse, an emotional punch bag where she projects all the fear and pain she can't take responsibility for onto you through vicious nagging, shaming, blaming, criticism, insults, guilt tripping, etc. I'm sure you know the score. And of course, we all know what it is for a woman to parasite off of your financial resources and use you as a walking ATM. If you've taken even half a red pill, you shouldn't be a host to a whole woman parasite. If you are, then you're just kidding yourself and you're still a blue-pilled simp. Sorry, it's just the truth. But if you're genuinely red-pilled, then the gynocentric parasites you still have take the form of subconscious patterns of thinking, limiting beliefs, and gynocentric female supremacist values that you picked up from your feminist or single mother, older sisters, or female teachers at school. The trouble with these gynocentric parasites is that not only are they invisible, but as far as you're concerned, they're actually part of who you are. They're part of your identity. That means the only way to get rid of them and to be truly free of the gynocentric plantation such that you are utterly indifferent to both individual women and the societal matrix that supports and enables them. And by the way, to be red pill raging and bitter and twisted about women and society is not indifferent. They own you. If you are furious about your ex-wife or what some woman did to you, or if you are furious about what society has done to you, that ex-wife, that ex-girlfriend and society own your punk ass. Yeah, if you're all butthurt and up in your emotions because of what a woman or society did with you, then you're not a man. You're a boy. You're an emotional boy, and you need to grow up.
Kill the boy, Jon Snow. Winter is almost upon us. Kill the boy, and let the man be born.
So if you want to be genuinely free of your ex and genuinely free of this female supremacist society that calls men oppressors while oppressing us, you have to undergo an identity shift. You must let go of your gynocentrically programmed and conditioned identity and shift back to your original, pristine, pre-programming, preconditioning, deeper identity. How do you do that? With an initiation.
You don't say.
What is an initiation?
And now for some rapid fire facts.
An initiation is where you're forced to walk through your fears and sit in your pain. Something you've spent your whole life avoiding.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Which is why you are stuck at the same level you've been stuck at your entire adult life.
He's out of line, but he's right.
What a man or a boy discovers, because pretty much all boys from all cultures for the last 300,000 years up until modern Western culture went through this type of rites of passage initiation into manhood when they hit puberty. What a boy or a man discovers when they walk through their fears and sit in their pain is their deeper identity, the nature of reality, and their higher purpose in life. At that point, they can take their place in the tribe as a responsible, powerful, problem-solving adult man, the most powerful creature this planet has known since the dinosaurs. This process of a boy becoming a man was passed down through the oral tradition for 300,000 years and became the myths and legends that in turn became what mythologist Joseph Campbell called the monomyth, the hero with 1,000 faces, what is commonly known as the hero's journey. 23 years ago, I completed my hero's journey initiation after my divorce rape landed me living under a tree in a park for 7 months.
Oh, shit.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
What the hell did you just say?
It was the making of me.
Really?
It made a man out of me.
That's what I'm talking about!
I became a responsible, powerful, problem-solving adult man under that tree. And ever since then, my life has been a rich, purposeful, meaningful, and fulfilling adventure of the kind we all dreamed about as boys.
That's what I'm talking about!
And that's why I'm so hard on my red pill raging brothers. If you're still hung up on what some woman did to you or what your employer did to you or what society did to you, they win. If you stay a little boy sulking, taking his ball and saying, I'm going home, no one can play with my ball, they win. But if you use their betrayal, if you use them shitting on you, using you, and then discarding you, if you use that pain as fuel for your transformation by killing the boy and letting the man be born, you win. You win. and I want you to win. So I'm not going to pull any punches and sugarcoat it. Grow the fuck up and stop playing the victim.
I will be your champion. Blood of my blood.
So if you have the courage to embark on your hero's journey initiation, I've created a brotherhood where I guide and mentor red-pilled men on their hero's journey. In an extremely uncreative move, I named it the Hero's Journey Brotherhood because it does exactly what it says on the tin. It provides you with the support, guidance, challenge, and accountability every man needs to complete his journey. As a bonus, I made it into a competitive, real-life role-playing game where you get to compete as well as cooperate with your brothers for the highest rank on a monthly basis. There's also a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out at no risk. Basically, it's a no-brainer for any man that wants to rid himself fully of his gynocentric parasites and escape the gynocentric matrix of Western society in the only place that really matters, within his own consciousness.
Are you done? Are you done?
Now, at this point, the jaded skeptic in you will quite justifiably be asking, why is this guy any different from all the other manosphere grifters trying to make money off men's pain and suffering?
Well, we're waiting.
That is a fair question. I'll answer it by referring to my earlier definition of a grifter. Someone who doesn't care if they actually help their audience, only if they make money off their audience. In my case, I not only care about helping my audience, it is the very purpose of my life to help my audience. Why? Well, as I said before, I'm very clear that everything that has happened in the last 60 years, well, in fact, since the creation of Marxism and Zionism in the late 19th century, has been for the express purpose of bringing about the collapse of Western civilization in order to bring about a new world order where the richest, most powerful people in the world, the people who own the Federal Reserve Bank, which is about as federal as Federal Express and has zero reserves because it creates money out of thin air using the banker's trick called fractional reserve lending, these people, the people with the legal right to counterfeit the entire world's money supply and lend it to the world's governments at interest, such that the governments have to impose an income tax on the people to pay the central bankers back. These people, who are the elite of the ruling elites, they are the ones who have publicly named the New World Order they've been planning for 150 years, the Great Reset.
Oh, shit.
I'm equally clear that the only way to prevent this totalitarian agenda, an AI-controlled 1984-style dystopian nightmare of human enslavement from happening, is for 10 million men to return to their original, pristine, non-gynocentrically programmed, non-gynocentrically conditioned, non-feminized, non-infantilized identity.
That's what I'm talking about!
And become once again the most powerful creatures this planet has known since the dinosaurs. For the last 23 years, I've dedicated my life to first making sure that I personally had returned to my original, non-feminized, non-infantilized identity, free of gynocentric parasites. Then, and only then, would I be capable of guiding and mentoring the first group of the legendary 10 million men that will save humanity from the Great Reset on their heroes' journeys. So I don't give a fuck about making money. I've been doing this for free for 23 years, and if I became a millionaire through YouTube but failed in my mission to help save humanity from the Great Reset, that money will mean nothing to me. Not only because money will be replaced anyway by your social credit score, as the Chinese have been trialing and Black Mirror predicted.
These ain't opinions, these are facts.
But also because I stopped caring about money when I found my deeper identity and my higher purpose. Because knowing who I really am and why I'm really here meant that I was no longer afraid of lack or scarcity of any kind. I know and have proven to myself over and over again for 23 years that I can always create whatever I need, so I never have to worry about making money. Money comes when I need it to fulfill my higher purpose. And when you return to your deeper identity and discover your higher purpose, you can experience the same inner peace and freedom from lack and scarcity and fear. If that's what you want and you have a brain, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.